What if I told you, you're about to land in a place where just breathing can feel like climbing Everest? Welcome to Bolivia, the country that punches you in the lungs before it blows your mind. Here, altitude is not just a number. It's a way of life. At over 3,600 meters above sea level, even walking feels like cardio. But what you lose in oxygen, you gain in scenery. And trust me, that trade is worth it. The moment you step into the capital, La Paz, everything feels electric. It's noisy. It's gritty. It's alive. And it's hanging onto a cliffside like it's afraid of falling. Imagine a city where the bus routes go vertical. Where cable cars are part of daily commuting. And where altitude sickness isn't a maybe, it's a rite of passage. You've got to respect this place. The locals don't run, they glide. Slowly. Gracefully. Because if you don't pace yourself, Bolivia will remind you who's boss. And spoiler, it's always the mountain. Now take a moment. Look around. Bolivia isn't just high, it's raw. Wild. Untamed. The terrain looks like it was carved by giants, then painted by gods. This is the Valley of the Moon. Not a theme park. Not CGI. Just nature doing what it does best, reminding us that beauty doesn't need permission, but Bolivia is also contrast. You'll see 100-year-old architecture sitting beside neon-lit chaos. You'll find ancient traditions thriving in the middle of digital noise. It's like time layered itself and no one bothered to unstack it. One minute you're catching your breath in a cafe, the next you're swept into a parade where feathers, fire, and flutes collide. It's not just a festival. It's a cultural earthquake, and then, there's the food. Oh yes. When you're hungry at altitude, flavors hit differently. A simple empanada? Feels like a 5-star dish. Street soup? Feeds your soul. Bolivia doesn't invite you in softly. It grabs you by the collar, hands you a coca leaf, and says, keep up if you can. And just when you think you've seen it all, the city, the markets, the madness, you look up. The stars come out. And you realize, you're not just in a different country. You're on another planet. This is only the beginning. Scene 1 of Bolivia. And already, it's not just a destination, it's an altitude-induced awakening. Stay tuned. Because next, we head where the ground turns into a mirror, and reality starts to blur. What if the Earth had a mirror so massive, it could reflect the sky itself? You're not dreaming. You're in Bolivia, standing on a salt flat that stretches beyond your imagination. Welcome to Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat. 10,000 square kilometers of silence, salt, and surrealism. A place where perspective gets confused, and the horizon disappears. The ground? It's not snow. It's salt. Miles and miles of ancient evaporated lake beds, forming a crust that crackles beneath your feet like glass, only softer. This is where photographers lose their minds. Everything's flat. Everything's white. It's the perfect canvas for trickery, a playground for your camera. In Uyuni, reality bends. Your imagination becomes law. And trust me, no one's too cool to take a silly photo here. But then, the water comes. Just a few centimeters deep, that's all it takes. Suddenly, the earth and sky become one. You walk, and you float. You stand, and you disappear. It's called the mirror of the world, and once you're in it, everything changes. There's no up. No down. Just reflection. Just awe. You could stand here for hours, not saying a word. Just breathing. Just being. It's nature's way of saying, look what I can do when no one's watching, and just when you think it can't get any more magical, the flamingos arrive. Yes, flamingos. In the middle of a salt desert. Because Bolivia doesn't follow the rules. They feed here. Dance here. Pose here. Almost like they know they're part of the masterpiece. As the sun drops, the mirror gets deeper. The world around you begins to vanish. It's just color. Reflection. And you. Alone on a planet that looks borrowed from another galaxy. This moment? It doesn't need Wi-Fi. Doesn't need likes. It just is. Salar de Uyuni doesn't ask for attention. It demands silence. Respect. Wonder. But wait, it's not over. The best part? Nightfall. This place becomes a universe. The sky above you, copied beneath you. Double constellations. Double galaxies. It's like floating in space without ever leaving the ground. No telescope. No rocket. Just you, some salt, and a sky full of secrets. There's no hotel here. No vending machines. Only a few basic salt lodges around the edge. But honestly? You don't need luxury. This is the luxury. You sleep inside walls made of salt. You dine at tables made of salt. And somehow, the taste of the stars makes the meal unforgettable. In Uni, time slows. Your phone dies. Your breath comes easier. Because you realize you've made it to a place that still feels untouched. Unrushed. Unreal. And when the sun comes back, the mirror fades. The magic dries. But this place becomes a universe. The sky above you, copied beneath you. Double constellations. Double galaxies. It's like floating in space without ever leaving the ground. No telescope. No rocket. Just you, some salt, and a sky full of secrets. There's no hotel here. No vending machines. Only a few basic salt lodges around the edge. But honestly? You don't need luxury. This is the luxury. You sleep inside walls made of salt. You dine at tables made of salt. And somehow, the taste of the stars makes the meal unforgettable. In Uni, time slows. Your phone dies. Your breath comes easier. Because you realize you've made it to a place that still feels untouched. Unrushed. Unreal. And when the sun comes back, the mirror fades. The magic dries. But the memory? That stays. You came for a selfie. You left with a soul shake. This isn't just a salt flat. This is Bolivia reminding you the earth still has places that feel impossible. And guess what? We're only halfway through. If you thought salt could steal your breath, wait till the jungle takes it. It doesn't roar. It breathes. The jungle doesn't announce itself. It waits. And when it calls you, you go. Welcome to the Amazon. Not Brazil's. Not Peru's. This is Bolivia's secret jungle, wilder, quieter, and in many ways, purer. It starts slow. A trail, some vines, a swarm of curious sounds. But soon, the path disappears, and you realize you're in it. Not looking at nature. Inside it. Swallowed whole, every breath tastes different here. Thick. Green. Alive. Oxygen with flavor. In this jungle, silence isn't quiet. It's loud with secrets, each one hiding in plain sight. The frogs? Poisonous. The ants? Architects. The trees? Hundreds of years old, still whispering their stories through the breeze. Eyes watch you from above. Feet tap behind you. But you'll never catch them. You're the guest. They're the forest. Then the jungle opens. A river appears, brown, slow-moving, and full of mystery. It's the only road in this wild green world. This river doesn't care about Google Maps. It doesn't ask for permission. It just moves, carving Bolivia's veins through the heart of the wild. Civilization exists here. But it's quiet. Simple. In tune with the forest. People don't conquer nature here. They listen to it. And at night? It transforms. The jungle becomes a galaxy of eyes and sounds. Glowing fungi, screeching howlers, the soft thud of something unseen brushing past your hammock. There's no sleep like jungle sleep, where your lullaby is a symphony of creatures and your dreams, a jungle of their own. Mornings here don't begin with alarms. They begin with birds. Over 1,000 species of them. Colors you've never imagined. Songs you'll never forget. The forest is most alive at dawn. It stretches. It sings. It invites. You follow paths carved by tapirs and jaguars. You cross rivers barefoot. You become mud, sweat, and heartbeat. And just when you think it's too much, the jungle gifts you a waterfall. You step under it and everything washes away. The fear. The fatigue. The fake. You remember you're alive. No screen can show you how cold it is. No word can explain how real it feels. It's nature, not for viewing, but for becoming. And beneath the surface? Another world. Piranhas. Electric eels. Fish you've never seen, with faces that don't smile. Yes, they're real. Yes, they're close. But fear? That fades. Respect replaces it. The forest isn't just wild. It's wise. It heals. It teaches. A tree for fever. A root for pain. A flower for the spirit. You leave lighter. Not because you dropped pounds, but because you dropped what didn't matter. Ego. Noise. Control. The Bolivian Amazon doesn't try to impress you. It humbles you. Shows you how small you are and how connected. You don't leave this place the same. Something inside shifts. You speak less. You feel more. And you carry the green hum in your chest for weeks. This isn't tourism. This is rewilding. This is returning. And the jungle? It's still waiting. Next up, altitude, fire, and color. Join us as we climb above the clouds into a city built by rebels and witches. You won't believe what comes next. What if your city didn't just touch the sky, it lived in it? There's a place where altitude isn't just a number, it's an identity. A city where breathing is earned, and every corner hides a secret. This is no ordinary capital. This is La Paz. Perched at over 3,600 meters above sea level, La Paz doesn't bow to gravity. It mocks it. Here, even walking is an adventure. The air here is thin, but thick with energy. Altitude sickness isn't a bug. It's a baptism, and once you adjust, the city reveals its soul one street at a time. They call it the Witch's Market. But it's more than potions and oddities. It's belief. It's resistance. It's tradition fighting to survive in the age of Wi-Fi. Here, magic isn't fiction. It's part of daily life. People bless new homes with llama offerings. Travelers seek coca leaves for answers. Spirits are consulted like neighbors, and yet, just blocks away, colonial cathedrals loom. Spanish architecture, plazas, and echoes of conquest still linger. The city is a patchwork, rebellion stitched over religion, identity embroidered onto stone. But La Paz isn't stuck in the past. It celebrates it loud, proud, unapologetically colorful. Every festival here is a declaration, we are still here. It's not just performance. It's memory in motion. Culture that refuses to fade. And then there's the Sky Train. The city floats. Literally. The Mi Teleférico system is the world's highest urban cable car network. And it's more than public transport, it's a miracle. No tunnels. No traffic. Just flight. Like the city grew wings and took to the sky, look north, and the mountains remind you who's boss. Jagged, ancient, watching. The Andean gods never left, they just took new names. And then you stumble into a cemetery, and it feels alive. Graves aren't silent. They're decorated, visited, spoken to. The dead aren't gone. They're just relocated, and just when you think you understand La Paz, it flips the script. The youth are remixing the city. Old beliefs, new beats. Tradition on a turntable. La Paz at night is another story. The cold gets sharper. The lights more mysterious. And the city whispers instead of shouts. You walk slower. You listen more. You feel the altitude in your bones, but also the magic. There's a reason people come here and stay longer than planned. There's something addictive about mystery. And La Paz doesn't give away all its secrets. Ask a question, get a riddle. That's how it works here, and then El Alto. La Paz's unruly twin. Higher, harsher, louder. It's where the revolution simmers. Where indigenous pride lives loud. It's raw. It's bold. It's Bolivia without filter. From ancient rituals to electric protest, from alpaca wool to Wi-Fi hubs, this is the city in the sky. Built by survivors. Decorated by dreamers. Protected by myths. You don't just visit La Paz. You inhale it. You wrestle with it. And somewhere along the way, it changes you, but the journey isn't done. From high skies to cracked deserts, the next chapter leads us deep into Bolivia's salt mirror. Where earth and heaven become one. At first, it looks like nothing. Just emptiness. Flat. Colorless. Cold. But stare long enough, and the world begins to dissolve. There is no up. No down. Just reflection. Welcome to Salar de Uyuni. The world's largest salt flat. A frozen ocean. A white abyss. A gateway to something you can't explain. This is where Bolivia stops pretending. It strips off its colors. Its borders. Even its gravity. You're left with silence and salt and the surreal feeling that maybe you've left Earth. During the rains, it becomes a mirror. A two-sided sky. Walk too far, and it feels like you might fall up. Photographs don't do justice. They show the place. But not what it does to you. You sleep in salt. Eat on salt. The wind whispers through salt walls. It creaks. It sighs. Like the desert is alive. And then it shifts. You're not just on the salt flat anymore. You're in an alien film set. Flamingos feed in neon lakes. Volcanoes stand like sleeping giants. Geysers hiss in the morning frost. This isn't a place. It's a puzzle. The kind of landscape that makes your soul ache. Not because it's sad, but because it's too big to hold. Time works differently here. Everything slows down. You start making jokes with the horizon. You shrink your friends in forced perspective. You pose like giants. You play. But even the games feel sacred. Like the desert allows them. Encourages them. As if joy is part of the ritual. And then. Night. You have never seen stars like this. Not because there are more. But because there's nothing to interrupt them. No trees. No light. No distractions. The sky doesn't feel above you anymore. It feels around you. People come here for the photos. But they stay for the silence. For the feeling of being small in the best possible way. And then, just when you've made peace with nothingness, life appears. A coral island. In the middle of a salt ocean. Covered in cacti taller than people. It doesn't make sense. Which is exactly the point. The people who guide you through this white maze? They know. They've grown up with it. It's not strange to them. It's sacred. It's home. They speak of spirits in the salt. Of gods who live in the mountains. Of ancestors who walked these flats long before there were borders. Even the machines left behind tell a story. Of ambition. Of failure. Of how nothing man-made lasts out here. But the salt? It stays. It watches. It remembers. It's more than terrain. It's a reminder. That beauty doesn't need complexity. Sometimes, it just needs space. And as you drive away, there's this ache in your chest. Like you've seen something secret. Something no one will quite believe. You came to take pictures. You left with a new perspective. This wasn't just a trip. It was a transformation. The salt showed you who you are when the world falls away. Bolivia isn't a destination. It's a revelation. And the mirror never lies.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.